Hello, my front-end friends, and welcome to my podcast, General Musings. My name is Kevin, and here at my podcast, I talk about whatever is front of mind for me in any given week, usually in some way that's related to front-end development. Though this week, I'll be talking about CSS a bit, but it's going to be a little bit different, I think. But before we even get to that, just a little bit of an aside. I do want to just mention that I had missed a few weeks of the podcast, so thank you for anyone who's still sticking around and listening. I had a few things happen that made it so I couldn't record, and unlike my other content that I tend to batch do, well, not all my other content, my videos that I batch create, so I'll record like a bunch of videos and then it goes through all the steps in batches, generally speaking. My podcast is a weekly thing that I do because I enjoy doing it, and I can't come up with ideas for it. Well, I guess I could, but I like just talking about whatever is front of mind for me in any given week, as I say in the introduction. So it's a fun thing for me to be able to do, and I enjoy doing it. And so, yeah, here we are. But yeah, thank you for sticking around for those weeks that I had missed. Sorry about that. And we're going to keep on going. The other thing is, if you're watching this on YouTube, you might be like, oh, did Kevin get contacts or something? No, I've just misplaced my glasses. And that's always a fun thing to do. I generally don't. I always have them on. But the last 2 weeks when I wasn't recording, I was barely on my computer at all. And that meant I wasn't wearing my glasses very much. They're getting old now, so they're a little bit loose. My wife's been... honestly, I should have got new glasses like 2 years ago, but they've been doing fine for me. But I guess I just don't know what I did with them. And I generally don't misplace them, or when I do, they're usually in like one of three places. And now it's been 3 days where I have no idea where I put them, and it's kind of annoying. My prescription's really low, so it's not the end of the world. But by the end of the day, when I'm on the computer especially, it's with like type and everything. And again, it's a really minor prescription, but I definitely do notice it by the end of the day that my eyes are more tired. But I can get through my work, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, just if you're... there's been a few videos I've done on YouTube where I haven't been wearing my glasses. A long time ago too now. I haven't done one in quite a while. And people mention in the comments something about how it looks weird or whatever. So just in case you are watching, that's what's going on there. And if you're just listening to the audio version of this, well, sorry for the random tangent. And I guess with that out of the way, we can move on to this week's topic, which is something I've been thinking about a little bit lately. And originally I was going to be recording this episode about why I like CSS. And just because that had sort of been front of mind for me in a little bit, but with everything that's been going on, I was thinking more, I don't know, I've just been thinking about stuff, like life in general, more so lately than I have in a while. And it made me realize something is like, I've always, I guess because people see me as the CSS guy, I sort of identify that way to a certain extent. Like, what do? I write CSS. I teach people CSS and help people realize that CSS is awesome. It's always about, that the CSS evangelist, all these things that are making people like CSS and that type of thing. That's what I see myself as, and I guess how I identify these days. And I'm so really lucky that that's literally what I do for a job. It's kind of weird. It's not really a job in a way. Like, here's this vanilla language that just like I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, that it is what it is, and I'm very lucky that is what I do because I really enjoy writing CSS. If it's not obvious already, it's something that I really, really like to do. But as I was thinking about it and why I like it so much, I realized something, and near the end of the sort of bullet points that I had drafted for the original version of this, one of the things that came up was how teaching it has made it so I like it a lot more. Because I understand the language so much more, because I had to go into the nitty gritty and understand it at a very deep level and go through the documentation, whether it was MDM or at the actual spec, which can be really dry at times, and those parts aren't always the most fun. But it's my deeper understanding of it has made me really much more, I like writing it more. And then when new things come, I can just know how to use them because I have, it just builds on top of the other knowledge I have and everything else. And it really made me realize that if I hadn't started teaching, I wouldn't have ever not even got to where I am now, because obviously I would be doing something different, but I don't think I would have had this deep appreciation of CSS, even though it's always been the favorite part of web development that I have. Since the very beginning, it was always the part that I wanted to do. So it's not that I didn't like CSS, or I wouldn't, I wouldn't be running off with some JavaScript framework instead and being in love with that. I think CSS would always be the part that I enjoyed the most, but I don't think I would have liked it as much at all if I hadn't started teaching it. And it's kind of funny because, like, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, how did I become a teacher? Like, that's really what I am. Like, strip away the CSS side of things, that's what I teach, but really I should identify more as a teacher than other things, because that's effectively what I'm doing, and that actually makes sense as a job. Like, what do you do? I help educate people, that anybody can understand what that is. And as I started thinking about that, I realized that actually I really enjoy teaching people. And I don't know if I like writing CSS more or if I like teaching people more, because it is, and maybe it's a bit of an ego thing, but like every time you get comments from people saying how you've helped them, like that's the most rewarding experience ever. And when I get to meet people and they're like, oh, you've really helped me with like CSS, and I like CSS now. When I get comments on YouTube videos where people are like, I used to hate CSS and now it's the favorite thing I do, like that for me is like, okay, that's why I make those, are not those videos, but the videos that I make, is because I see that it's actually making an impact for people. And that's like insanely rewarding. And I really enjoy it. And I enjoyed doing it in the classroom as well, when I wasn't just teaching CSS, right? And when I was in the classroom, I was teaching everything from Photoshop to page layout, and then occasionally, not occasionally, I did a lot of the web classes, but as well as the web stuff. And no matter what you're teaching, whenever you see something just click and start working better, or somebody understands something or is able to do something better, like that's so cool to be able to see that progression in somebody. And so, yeah, I really do like teaching, and I never really had thought about that in this way before. I don't know why. I've always realized like, oh, it's so cool when I see those comments and those make me happy, but I never like sat back and been like, oh, I am a teacher, and I have been for a long time now. It's been 10 years, more than 10 years I think I've been teaching now. But it's also like, how did this even happen? How did I become a teacher? And I mean, it was basically luck. Like, my wife's actually a teacher too. She teaches in elementary school. But as I was going through this strange, weird path where I just kept jumping from one possible career path to another in completely different tangents that had no relation to one another, she went to university, got her bachelor's to be a teacher, and now she's a teacher, and she's been a teacher ever since she graduated. Whereas I have several degrees and none of them are what I'm actually doing now in life. The only thing, I guess, teaching, I did end up going to school for it later on, but I never got my degree in it. So I never finished, because then I stopped teaching in the classroom to go into online teaching and be a YouTuber and all of that fun stuff. Which, that YouTuber thing is still weird to me, I won't lie. Either for a small tangent of like, whenever my wife introduces me or something, or like people like, what do you do? I'm very hesitant to say anything about, I'm like, I'm an online educator or something like that, or I teach people. That tends to be what I say, because I realize people can like relate to that. And my wife is always like, he's a YouTuber. I'm like, oh, it's not really what you think. It's like, as soon as you hear that, you think like the typical influencer who's like making sensational videos and everything. I'm like, I just talk about computer code all day long. It's like, the people get really excited and then they're like, oh, okay, never mind. It's not so interesting after all. Some people are still interested, but a lot of the interest fades quite quickly. And I don't really consider myself a YouTube. I just see YouTube as the way that I reach the biggest audience possible. But yeah, just going backwards now a little bit, so I was working as a designer. For people who don't know, I'm not going to do the whole story because I've talked about it so many times. But for people who don't know, I was working as a designer for print design stuff, doing freelance stuff on the side, which is the web stuff I was doing. And then out of the blue, one of my old teachers reached out to me and said that the school that I had gone to, which was a vocational school in Montreal for design, was looking for new teachers. They had a lot of new students coming in. They needed some new teachers, and they thought that I would be good at it. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. I never thought I would want to do that. Like, teaching something didn't actually sound super appealing. But what did sound appealing was the pay. Not that teachers get paid enough, but it was better than what I was getting from my full-time job. And I was like, oh, maybe I can do that without having to work nights, because I had like a 1-year-old at the time too, or 1 or 2-year-old, I think. My oldest was. Something like that. I'm trying to remember. He was probably like 1, and maybe even under 1. And I was just like, yes, this would be a good idea for a little bit of more stability and everything. And because it was a vocational school, you could be hired without a degree in teaching, but you were hired as like an industry expert that would come in at an hourly rate, and you'd get the work you were getting. But if you wanted it to actually become like a quote unquote teacher, who got the benefits of being a teacher, so you're, being in the union and having, I think the union thing was always included, I'm not sure, but the pension and the having time to do your work that was actually paid, it was a little bit different from, and there was other benefits and everything else that would come, a more consistent schedule and everything else, and instead of the whole hourly thing that I was doing. Then you had to start your bachelor's in education, and so on weekends I started doing that. And I don't remember. And so that's why I sort of have a degree in education. I did several, I don't remember how many credits I ended up getting, but I did like half the program probably. I think something like that, maybe even more than half. I don't remember now. It's been a while. But yeah, so I sort of have half a degree in education as well. And then it sucked doing that though. I was at the time working full-time as a teacher. I had my YouTube channel at that point, and I was on weekends going to school. It wasn't every weekend. I think it was every second weekend, and then there was long breaks every now and then to be able to do that. And so anyway, it worked out in the end. And I'm really happy I did that as well, because I learned a lot during those lessons. It was really interesting, actually. I learned a ton. And a few of the teachers at that school were fantastic. And the other thing that was really good about that is the program I was doing wasn't general education. It was specifically for vocational education. So it was really practical. Because I know when you're doing the more general education stuff, my wife has told me all about this, that like it's like going to university for anything, where a lot of the knowledge you're getting is this, it's professors teaching stuff. Like, none of the teachers we had were professors. They were all people who had been vocational teachers who were now teaching at the university level instead. And yeah, it was fantastic teachers who actually taught us a lot of things. And the program itself was made by these teachers as well, like actually by the ones that were teaching it, or a few of them. And so it was all like this actual practical good information. It was it was a good course. I probably should have finished it. But anyway, I think that helped me. I think the experience of all of that, plus teaching in the classroom, really helped me be a better teacher for what I do now, which is the online and everything else. And yeah, all of this to say that it's kind of crazy that I never planned to be a teacher. I never planned to get into web development. And now my two favorite things that I do are teaching and CSS. And that's what I get to do. But there's one thing with teaching and with just not so much CSS, I guess, but mostly with the teaching thing is, like, despite it being the favorite thing that I do, like I'm very happy that this is what I do in my life. There's boring parts to it too, right? And I think this is something that, like, sometimes people look for the thing they can do that's going to be fun, and or they want to turn their hobby into their job because they think it's going to be fun. And it definitely, I know I think two schools of thought there. Some people say never turn your hobby into a job, because then it becomes a job and then you won't like it anymore. And then there's the other people saying, well, find what you love the most in life and try and do that as a living, because then you'll enjoy doing it. I've done that and it's worked so far, but that doesn't mean that because you took the thing you really enjoy doing and make it into a job. And it was definitely my hobby for a while. Well, teaching, I don't know, there's a weird thing where it was my job and a hobby. I guess it was teaching was my job and the CSS was my hobby, and then I managed to merge the two of them in a way. But yeah, I love it, and there's definitely parts that I don't like. And it's kind of weird because my favorite part and my least favorite part are the same thing, where it's building demos for things. And it just depends. Is it a demo? Like I have two different ways that I make videos. Sometimes I have a topic that I want to teach, and I do the script, I make the whole demo, and then I make the outline, and then have everything there, and then I'm like, okay, I need a demo to be able to teach all these things I'm talking about, and then I have to make some sort of thing, and then I record and edit and blah blah blah. The other way around is I just have an idea for something and I just make the demo, and then I work the outline and the video around that demo that I've already made. When I do that second way around, where I build the demo first, I'm having fun building whatever it is I'm doing. I'm just like, oh, this looks cool. I want to experiment with this. I want to play with this. This is a new thing, or this is just, I have an idea, or I see something that I want to do, and I'm just having fun writing CSS. And that's like the best part of something, is that I can make content around me just basically nerding out or having fun making a demo. Like, that's just so cool and so much fun that I can do that. And so that's where the demo making part of it is the favorite part of the entire production thing that I do. And then when it's the other way around, when it's more of like a formal lesson, let's call it, it's where making the demos is the part that I dread the most. I like outlining things. I like doing all of that. That might sound weird, but like I do like creating like a proper lesson. I think that's interesting. I learn a lot by doing that, like a crazy amount by doing that, because I'm often then deep diving into some of those things to make sure I'm correct on things or making sure I understand things. Like I enjoy that side of things. But then I have to make a demo that fits with what I'm trying to teach. And then that for me often is like, oh, okay, let's make this thing that I have to do. And that's really where it becomes like, oh, I have to do this part of it now. Sorry, I've gone on like a complete tangent. I wasn't planning to get into this, but it's, you know, you're here listening. Hopefully you're doing something and enjoying this conversation. You're driving or doing the dishes or something else, and you just like having the noise in the background, I guess, or doing some work maybe at the same time. Maybe you're doing that thing you dread, like I was just talking about. But yeah, that's, you know, part of life is just finding those things that, you know, nobody likes doing the dishes in general. I'm guessing some people might, or like collecting the trash and all those things. Like those are parts of our lives that we have to do. So it happens whether it's life or work or whatever else it is. But yeah, despite that having the parts that aren't the most fun, it's still amazing that this is what I get to do every day. And I'm in a way looking to try and motivate myself now, because I actually, as I'm talking through this, I'm like, I have a few things or those demos that I need to build right now. And I'm like, I'm going to record a podcast instead, because I don't feel like doing that right now. And I've been looking for other things to do, which is why we're here. And I had this other idea, and I guess I went from what I wanted to talk about into, I guess, a little bit of self-analysis of why I'm not actually doing my other work right now, which this is something that I had to do also, but I enjoy doing this part of it. So, and it's also actually another tangent. This is going to be a bit of a longer solo episode by the looks of it. Another tangent of how it's really weird that I'm so used to talking into the camera like this. Like I feel like I'm talking to you when I do this. And when I'm recording YouTube videos, I feel like I'm talking to you, which is strange because I'm looking at a camera lens. And I guess I've been doing it for 8 years now, YouTube videos, and the camera lens thing's been a bit shorter than that, but say 6 years of staring into a camera lens has just made it sort of this natural thing where I'm looking there. I've even done interviews, and now I have like I forget what it's called, but I have like this teleprompter thing that's also a second monitor. So if I'm doing interviews, I actually see the person's face like in front of my camera lens, which is perfect. But I've done tons of interviews where I'm not even looking at the person, I'm just staring at the lens, and it's super natural for me. And I don't know, it's this weird thing. Or even when I'm practicing for conferences or talks and stuff like that, and the computer might not even be on, but I'm just sitting at my desk. The computer's usually on, and I have my notes somewhere, but I'll just like be staring. Anytime I'm thinking of, oh, I'm addressing the audience now, I'm staring into the lens. It's a really weird thing. It's I just thought of it now because I'm just staring into a lens, but I really do feel like it's a weird one-sided conversation though, right? As I'm saying this whole idea of like podcasting and anything else, or not always, because sometimes I'm doing interviews, but yeah, it's this weird relationship between people and the listener and the speaker in situations like this, where I love podcasts. It's my favorite thing. I listen to them all the time, and I really do feel like they're personal in this weird way, considering it's a one-way conversation. And I'm guessing you feel the same way if you're listening to it and you still are like 20 minutes in or whatever we are now. But wow, we've gone way off topic. I'm going to end it there before I keep on rambling about other things. The last thing I do want to say, though, is this. I want to say a really big thank you to you as well, because if it wasn't for you and everybody else who is listening and supporting my content and watching my videos and everything else that's going on, I wouldn't be able to do these things that I do love. It's a real, just, yeah, I'm lucky to be here, but I'm lucky to be here. Whenever I say that, people are like, it's because you're good at it. And I realize I must have a skill at being able to communicate these things, or else I wouldn't be here, and I've put in work to be able to get here. But I know a lot of people who are really good at what they do, and they put in lots of work, and it just doesn't click for whatever reason. But I'm glad I've been able to make these personal enough connections with people who are following me that they continue to follow me and support me and everything else. And I literally wouldn't be here doing this today if it wasn't for you and everyone else's support. So just thank you very much. And of course, until next time, don't forget to make your corner of the internet just a little bit more awesome.